Fantastic Four!
Don't put that in the edit.
Powerpuff Girls.
The wonderful sci-fi movie Chronicle.
The Man of Constant Sorrow.
The Tim Burton Batman.
Nobody locks Ben Grimm in a closet.
No, I'm not being picky. You need to read it. It's totally different. We went to see Fantastic Four.
It was awesome-ish.
The film follows Reed Richards, a child genius who tries to create a teleportation machine. He ends up catching the eye of the Baxter Foundation, which recruits him to help build another teleportation device that goes into another dimension.
I tend to go into movies completely blind, and I was just going into this movie, it's Fantastic Four, whatever, and Dave said right before we walked in, it had bad reviews. So I watched this movie, and like the first third, I'm like, why the hell does this movie have bad reviews? It was awesome, the character interactions made sense, the backgrounds for the characters, their motivations, and the reasons for doing everything were fantastic. They were spot on, it was great. And then they climb down a cliff and the movie falls off of one.
This movie has been getting a lot of really horrible reviews, and it's really unfair. This was a very troubled production, and that has gotten a lot of press, and it's gotten a lot of bad press, and I think that's a lot of reasons why people go in expecting it to be a bad film. Let's cover the meat of the stuff.
Now, up into the point where they go climbing, the movie makes perfect and complete sense, and after that, people start making choices that don't make any sense. They act against the motivations that you've already been given, and the end was kind of like, okay, we need to end the movie. Poof, we're done.
I actually really liked the guy they cast as Dr. Doom. I thought he was a good choice.
I thought the special effects for the actual characters was done really well, but all of the additional CGI was...
The Human Torch looks really cool in this one. You know, these days they've been making costumes that are very faithful to the source material, but they still look cool, and they failed at that.
I also want to question why it's okay for Johnny Storm to be black, which was awesome, but Sue Storm still has to be blonde.
I thought Tim Blake Nelson was kind of a wasted actor. He's a really wonderful actor, and they didn't really give him much to do.
The makeup artist, it's like a bunch of people had scars for various reasons, and they were obviously painted on. Try harder.
This movie was really not faithful to the Fantastic Four source material at all.
I liked the fact that Reed was focused on naivete and wanting to make the world a better place and was an incredibly loyal friend, and that was his driving force.
Dr. Doom is probably the best comic book villain of all time. He's a freedom fighter that becomes a dictator, and then he studied magic in order to save his mother's soul from the devil. He's one of the smartest, if not the smartest people on the planet. They should just do a Dr. Doom movie and forget about all the superheroes.
I would recommend this movie for people who are about to have a party where they're like waiting for that first half hour or whatever for the party to start. They flip on the movie, they pay attention, and then about half an hour in, people start showing up, and they no longer have to watch the movie because they're talking to people. Then it might be a good movie.
Anyway, not a faithful movie, but it's still an entertaining one, so...
It really bothered me that my favorite actor was the guy who played Ben Grimm, and he was replaced with CG, and then they completely changed how his character acted. He went from being laconic and loyal and vigilantly attentive to being naive and surprisingly talkative.
So apparently the mutation made him chatty.